7 days ago, most people had the same three favourites: France, Spain, and Brazil. 1 week later, one of them has strengthened its case. The other two suddenly have questions to answer. Spain couldn't score against Cabo Verde. Brazil were held by Morocco. Meanwhile, Germany scored 7. England looked reborn. Messi delivered a World Cup hat-trick, and some of football's supposed underdogs are starting to look anything but. It's only one match. But week 1 has already changed the conversation. Let's start with the result nobody saw coming. Spain 0. Cabo Verde 0. Spain dominated possession, controlled most of the match, created opportunities, but Cabo Verde refused to break. A nation of barely 500,000 people just took a point from one of football's giants. And they weren't alone. Saudi Arabia held Uruguay. Egypt held Belgium. Iran held New Zealand. Even Morocco, Africa's strongest side, took points from Brazil. A few years ago, these results would have been called shocks. Now they're starting to feel normal. The smaller nations aren't just competing anymore. They're taking points from the teams expected to win this tournament. And that changes everything. If some teams stumbled, others sent a message. The United States demolished Paraguay 4-1. For years, people have talked about the growth of football in America. Against Paraguay, they looked like a team ready to make noise in this tournament. Then there was Germany. 7 goals against Curaçao. It wasn't just the scoreline, it was the speed, the movement, the confidence. Germany looked like a team enjoying football again. And then there was England. Before the tournament, there were questions about Thomas Tuchel's selection. Would England finally play with a clear identity? Against Croatia, they answered emphatically. A dominant attacking performance. And for long stretches, England looked like a genuine contender. Not just a talented squad, a team. One thing week 1 proved is that the biggest names are still capable of owning the biggest stage. Kylian Mbappé stepped up again as France beat Senegal 3-1. Erling Haaland scored twice as Norway dismantled Iraq 4-1. And Lionel Messi reminded everyone why he remains one of the most dangerous players in world football. Argentina beat Algeria 3-0. Messi scored all 3. A World Cup hat-trick at 39 years old. Some players arrive at a World Cup carrying pressure. Messi arrived carrying expectations. After one match, Argentina look every bit like contenders. Not every major nation enjoyed the opening week. Brazil were held to a draw by Morocco. And while that's not a disaster, it reinforces what many people already suspected. Morocco are no longer underdogs. They're one of the strongest teams outside football's traditional elite. Then there's Portugal. The attack felt slow, predictable, and often disconnected. Which raises an uncomfortable question. Is Ronaldo holding Portugal back? Or is he simply taking the blame for a team that isn't moving quickly enough around him? Either way, Portugal suddenly have questions to answer. And so do South Africa. A 2-0 defeat to Mexico leaves Bafana Bafana with very little room for error. The performance lacked creativity, lacked urgency. And now round 2 suddenly feels like a must-win match. Senegal face a different challenge. Losing 3-1 to France isn't embarrassing. France do that to a lot of teams. But if Senegal genuinely want to compete with the very best teams in this tournament, the gap looked bigger than many hoped. After 1 week, France, Argentina, Germany and England have all strengthened their case. But perhaps the biggest lesson isn't about the favourites. It's about everyone else. Cabo Verde proved it. Saudi Arabia proved it. Egypt proved it. Iran proved it. Morocco proved it. The gap is shrinking. The giants are still giants. But they don't look quite as untouchable as they once did. And if the first week has taught us anything, it's that this World Cup may end up being remembered for the teams nobody expected. 1 round down. And the tournament is only just getting started.